Welcome back to Focus on Crestview. I'm Derek Lott, your Chamber President and City President of CCB Community Bank. This month we have my bank, CCB Community Bank, sponsoring the Chamber Breakfast and the Focus on Crestview show. And we just got through in the last segment talking to my boss, Alan Wood, about things going on with the bank. And he mentioned something that I wanted to have another part of the show we talk about, which is our involvement with the community. And today we brought two of my good friends, Mayor David Cadle and Band Director Jody Dunn with the Crestview High Band. And both of them have been very involved in our band for a long time. Mr. Mayor, I think you've been involved with our band, or actually you directed our band for about 28 years.
That's right, Derek. It was a great time of my life, and my heart is still with the Crestview High School Big Red Machine. So I wanted to thank CCB Bank and you for giving us this opportunity today to talk about the band and the great things that are planned.
Well, we figured that although we wanted to talk about the bank a little, it would be a lot more exciting to talk about the band versus the bank, because everybody knows what a bank does, but not everybody knows some of the things that's going on with our band. That's
right. And talk a little bit about the band. You know, it has a great history. It's one of the oldest bands in the Florida Panhandle. Got started in 1938 and by Romulus Thompson, and it's enjoyed great success through the years. I arrived in 1978 to try to continue that tradition. Lou Lindsay was a former band director who named it the Big Red Machine, and that name has stuck through all these years, and it has a great importance in the city of Crestview. And it had about 100 students when I arrived, and today it has about 260 students. And the band has performed throughout the United States from one coast to the other, from New York to Los Angeles, with stops at Washington and Philadelphia, Chicago, and Phoenix, Arizona in between. So. And Jody has some news that he's going to give you today, but it's been real exciting to see this band develop in our city and the importance that it holds for the citizens of Crestview.
And you mentioned some of the places that you've played, but I know under the leadership, when you were the band director, there was many accolades and achievements and awards that the band was awarded. Can you tell us what some of those were?
Well, just getting to perform at the Fiesta Bowl in Arizona, and of course, the biggest event we had when I was there was marching in the Macy's parade. That was something I'd wanted to do for my entire career, and actually through a lot of the efforts of Jody, who did all the legwork and getting that invitation put together for us, you know, and so I appreciate him. And in fact, that was my last year of teaching, so it was a great way to go out after 38 years of being in band directing.
And you couldn't stop being involved in the community, and you've been the mayor ever since then, but you're still involved with the band, and you're not only going to tell us a little bit about the band and its history today, but you brought Jody along, who's currently serving as our director. And
that's right.
There was a little meeting you guys had a while back talking about something special that's going to happen at the end of the year, and our band's involved, and we're going to tell everybody out there in the community about what that is.
Well, I'm going to let Jody tell you about that, but I want to tell you about Jody Dunn first. He's a true native of the city of Crestview, grew up here, and I first met Jody when he was about 12 years old, and he was a neighbor who lived around the corner. I didn't know who he was at the time, but he irritated me a lot because he was out there practicing that trombone on his front porch. You know, I heard that all day, so I got to know this young man and what a tremendous talent he was coming through Crestview High School. He was the drum major of the Big Red Machine, one of the finest that I ever had in my career. And so, and he became my, after he graduated from Southern Miss, he became my assistant for about 10 years and did just a superb job. And so I was real excited for him to continue on that tradition that I'd been a part of too. So I'm not going to take all this time. I want to introduce you to Jody Dunn, who is the outstanding band director of the Crestview High School Big Red Machine, and Jody can tell you a little bit about what his plans are for the band.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. It's a pleasure to be here. I want to thank CCB Bank for inviting us and for all the community involvement that you have shown in your time in Crestview. It is my great privilege to be the band director at Crestview High School. It's something that I always wanted to do, even growing up as that annoying little 12-year-old kid across the street from Mr. Cadle. And I'm so grateful to be able to do that. I get to work with the very best students at Crestview High School, with the very best parent organization, and it's just a thrilling thing for me to be able to say that I'm the band director at Crestview High School, and we're privileged to be in Crestview, one one school, one community. I like that idea. As much as Crestview has grown in the time that I've been there, it's still a small town atmosphere, and it's still a very tight community, and it's important for us and at Crestview High School, and with me with the Crestview High School Band, to continue the tradition that Dave started and continued rather from Lou and all from Romulus Thompson in the 1930s, you know, to be involved in the community and to make sure that we are always champions and for the community and ambassadors in all of our travels. Dave mentioned that we've gone to New York and Los Angeles and all of those places. Well, we are happy to say that several months ago I got a phone call from folks in Pasadena, and the gentleman introduced himself and he said, it's my pleasure to invite the Crestview High School Band to the 2012 Tournament of Roses Parade. And I was standing up in my office at the time, and it was one of those moments I just had to sit down. And I said, who is this really? Mm-hmm. I thought it was one of the local band directors, you know, giving me a hard time about it. But he assured me that it was the chairman of the music committee of the Tournament of Roses Parade, and the Crestview Band was coming to Pasadena in January of 2012. So that's what we're working on now. We've had several months to prepare for it. We've got several months left still to prepare for it. We've got money still to raise and laps still to do around the track to get ready for that 7-mile parade. But we're excited about it, and we are thrilled to represent not only Crestview, but Okaloosa County, the state of Florida, and in fact the entire southeastern United States. We will be the representative of our area of the United States at this year's Tournament of Roses Parade, and we couldn't be happier.
And the Rose Bowl Parade, it's a very prestigious event to be able to be in it.
It is. There are hundreds of bands every year who send in their applications. And this year they only chose, I believe, 10 high school bands. There are other bands from other parts of the world, and there are some bands that appear every year. But there's a very limited number of bands that are selected to perform in this parade. It's considered, along with the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, it's the top performance opportunity for bands in the country. And
so like it's a pretty significant achievement to even be chosen.
It is.
To be finally selected, you got to really be the best of the best.
Well, you have to build your resume through the years to be considered by the Rose Bowl committee, and that's what the band has done. And so tradition builds upon it, success builds upon itself. And so that's the great thing for this band this year, is that this is the top notch of American parades and American spectacle, for that matter. So the city of Crestview is indeed proud that our band is going to be in that parade this year.
And to get to the actual Rose Bowl, it's pretty far ways away from here, isn't it?
Yes,
How are you guys going to get there?
Well, we have worked with Greg Donovan at the Valparaiso Airport with Vision Airlines, and we're so proud that the big red and white jets from Vision are going to take us to Pasadena. They'll be taking the big red machine to Pasadena. We've got 2 charter planes, and they're all filled up. As a matter of fact, we kind of ran over a little bit. We're going to have to work on some commercial flights for some of our friends and followers. But we've got about 307 people going with us to Pasadena. And Greg and all of his folks at the airport have really come through for us. They're going to make arrangements for parking for our people, both for the departure and the return. They really have rolled out the red carpet for us and have treated us very well, and that's exciting. We talk about community involvement. That's exactly the kind of thing that goes on in this area, and it's exciting. It's just it warms your heart to feel that support from all of our community business leaders and sponsors such as Vision Air. We're just proud as we can be.
And not only is it wonderful for the community, and you guys as the band are going to represent not just Crestview and not just Okaloosa County, but really Northwest Florida and our state, in front of millions of people.
It's true.
It'll be an experience those kids will never forget. And like you say, it's one more tick mark on the resume that shows why our band has, for 50-something years, continued to be one of the best.
It's good for our area. It shows the people of the world who are going to be watching this parade all of the good things that are going on here in Northwest Florida, in Okaloosa County, and in Crestview. It's our chance to be on the world stage and for everyone to see just how wonderful it is here in Crestview and in Okaloosa County. I did want to mention that with the Crestview Band marching in the Rose Parade, that means that all of the major high school bands in Okaloosa County have now appeared in the Rose Parade and the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and that's a an unusual accomplishment. We've tried to find if that's, anywhere else can say that. I think that's something that we can brag about the bands here in Okaloosa County. I'm very proud to be here in Okaloosa County with the bands that we have, supported by our school district, and it's just gratifying, and we're proud to represent all of us this year in Pasadena.
Well, before we wrap up, I just wanted to mention one more thing. Although you have your flights arranged to get there, and it's all the way across the country, and you'll be there for, I guess, about a week, but there's still a lot of money that needs to be raised.
Yes, it's an expensive undertaking. It costs about $1,800 per student to go on this trip.
And how many students again was it?
We've got 307 people total going. That's chaperones, staff, and friends and family who are going with us. But about 210 of those are student performers. And the trip package is all inclusive. They could get on the plane with no money in their pocket and come back just fine. They'll be fed every day. All of their meals are paid for, all of their accommodations, their tickets, their airline, their bus when we're out there, because we have to have buses when we're there in Los Angeles to go around to all the different areas. So we could still use all the support we can get from individuals and business sponsors. My number at my office is 689-7181. Give me a call. I'll be glad to tell you who to write the check to. And it is tax deductible, any donation that you give, and we would certainly appreciate any help we could get.
Well, guys, thank y'all for being here today, and everybody out there in TV land and in our area, you remember, if you want to help the Big Red Machine get to Pasadena, call Jody, call our mayor, or call the chamber, and we'll help you get the money to them so them kids can get over there and have a good time and represent our community. Well, when we come back, we're going to have Dino Sinopoli, our past president, talk about a wonderful and exciting event coming up in November. We're going to have Karen Hardell, our president-elect, tell us about some of the things that's been happening in the past few weeks in the chamber. So stay tuned, and we'll see you in a moment.